What's going on, guys? Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you all for joining me today, Wednesday, November 6th, 2024, for a post-election stream, the beginning of a new era of Zion Dawn. Donald Trump has fulfilled the art of the comeback, like his best-selling book, and he has ascended the throne once again, returned to the throne. The King, MAGA King returns. The second coming of Trump, the resurrection of Trump. It's amazing. I've been predicting it for 4 years. It's happened. It's eerie. If I'm right about Trump's surviving assassination attempts, which I also predicted, and if I'm right about Gog and Magog unfolding of him and Kushner and the Zionists getting back in power, grab your popcorn because we are in for a ride. And I've been on a ride. I've basically started No More News in 2014, but it didn't really start to post and pick up a lot until 2015 with Trump, focusing on Trump and Zionism and prophecies. And I thought maybe the night before the election, I thought possibly Trump could lose. I've been out on a limb everywhere for years saying I think Trump's going to win. He's going to be back in. He's going to be in charge of the West in the big end times war and be scapegoated for the fall. But I thought, if Trump loses tomorrow, this was November 4th, 10 o'clock, what was going on in my head. If Trump loses tomorrow, I'd have to admit the Zionists don't have the influence to the extent that I imagined. So a lot of people probably deliberately misconstrued this to saying that, like, if Trump loses, I'm saying Zionists don't have any power. That's not what I'm saying. They go, oh, Adam, you don't know. Zionists control both sides. It's a false dichotomy. I'm aware they have influence on both sides, but they're only calling one side, one candidate, their Messiah. And only one is bragging about being the greatest president for Israel of all time. Only one's getting all the top Jewish awards and is seen as this messianic figure, both among Christian and Q cultists and rabbis. But I had to admit, I put it out there. I said, if Trump loses, they apparently don't have the type of influence and pulling the strings as I imagined, because it's so clear that Trump was the guy that they wanted. But rest assured, he won. He won, so apparently maybe they do have the power and the prophecy-fulfilling capabilities engineering themselves, as I imagined. Donald Trump, in his last speech before the election, I believe it was Reading, Pennsylvania, I want to say, Trump is going to, quote, fulfill God's mission. Saved by God, anointed by God, his imperfect vessel to save the world. Trump was saved by God, saved from the bullet to save the world. And he's going to save Israel. Israel won't exist without Trump. And he's going to save us from World War III. And he's going to bring peace to the Middle East. And he's going to take out the deep state. And him and Elon are going to take us to Mars. All of these huge promises Trump's been making, including fulfilling prophecy in this one.
Many people say that God saved me in order to save America. Many people are saying that. And with your help, we will fulfill that extraordinary mission together. We're going to save our country.
They're going to fulfill that extraordinary mission that God saved him, ordained him to save the world, to save Israel. And they all cheer for it. Fulfilling God's prophecy, chosen by God, fulfilling God's prophecy, and it worked. They are mobilizing. I see in the chat, they're commenting that the white Christian vote is what mostly got him into office. He got record lows in the Jewish vote. So much pandering to the Jews still loses the Jewish vote. I saw two examples of panels of news shows toasting and celebrating the victory of Alex Jones. Here's the first one. Israeli Channel 14 takes a shot of liquor to celebrate Trump's victory. They think Trump will go to war for them, but they will be very disappointed. You got to be kidding, Megatron. See, these new Anon, I think this guy's a Muslim, accounts that blew up right after October 7th. Oh, yeah, they're going to be disappointed. He'll never go to war for them. Netanyahu and the Jews could never manipulate, and the Zionists could never manipulate Trump to go to war with Iran. No, he would never. You got to be kidding me. This is going to age. All these people that are supposedly anti-Jewish, anti-Zionist, that are now playing 4D chess excuses for Trump, it's going to age real bad. Yeah, he's draining the swamp again with a bunch of Zionists, just like last time. Netanyahu's celebrating. Adelsons are obviously celebrating. Likud. All the Zionists. John Hagee. That's who's celebrating. That's who won. And the other people to do the toast was InfoWars. InfoWars did their toast again. So the Israeli TV networks and InfoWars are toasting for the anointing of Moshiach Donald Trump. Moshiach, yes. Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted, "Congratulations on history's greatest comeback." And how is this not American political? He doesn't even say American history. He just says history's greatest comeback. There's no, everybody loves a comeback story. He wrote the book, The Art of the Comeback. It was almost people were desperate for him. He basically won in a landslide. The election wasn't even close at all. Everybody's so desperate, tired of the woke, tired of the corruption and incompetency and inflation and prices and the messes around the world. They're so desperate to Trump, so desperate for a savior, which we saw all along. We said the more that they attack him, the more that they try to charge him and indict him and assassination attempts, all of that did was just ensure his victory and make his followers mobilize more and bring more people off the fence to support him. And it worked. History's greatest comeback. The comeback will be the Jews when they destroy Edom, which they view Trump, the role that Trump is supposed to do. So they'll be saying that's the biggest comeback. Your historic return to the White House offers a new beginning for America and powerful recommitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. This is a huge victory in true friendship. Yours, Benjamin Netanyahu, to Trump. 300,000 likes. So Netanyahu fired the head of the IDF, Yoav Gallant, yesterday. And there's protest against Netanyahu for this. So Trump gets elected. He fires the head of the IDF. Trump said, Gaza better release all the hostages or else before he gets into office. Trump has told Netanyahu he needs to finish the war before he's into office. Trump's been threatening to flatten Iranian cities for wanting to assassinate him or hack his campaign or whatever else, sleeper cells attacking Israel. It's just crazy times. Are we going to see the burning of the red heifers now that Trump's in? I thought they were waiting for that. Are we going to see the final takeover of Gaza? Is Trump going to come in and some other predictions? I think Trump's going to come in and probably negotiate a deal with Putin and force Ukraine to take an L and lose some land, and probably promise never to join NATO, not put NATO weapons in Ukraine. I bet you that's going to be the deal, and then it's going to be he'll be hailed as the savior of the world that saved us from World War III, and then next they'll move their sights on the Middle East and talk about, the Kushner-Abraham Accords, peace in the Middle East, the deal of the century. Saudi Arabia won't normalize unless there's negotiations for a Palestinian two-state solution with the West Bank. Trump has signaled and foreshadowed that something like that could be happening. Kushner and the Zionists and his his compadres are going to be back in charge. Kushner's involved with the transition team already, the America First transition team. Trump return is the beginning of Tikkun Olam. Yeah, according to them, destroying the darkness of Esau and Edom. So we're going to do all the post-election analysis. We got some clips of the liberals freaking out. We got the stuff with Elon Musk. There's Yair Netanyahu. Netanyahu's son says, hallelujah. Hebrew word, by the way. The most pro-Israel president in America's history is back. They're just couldn't be happier. Great day for America. Great day for Israel. Great day for the free world. Great day for Zionism and the God of Zion with Zion Dawn. Yair has also in the past called Trump a rock star. He says he's a rock star in Israel and the best president for Israel ever. Look at that first comment. Thank God the world has been saved. Thank God for our Savior and our deliverer. Guys, I kind of hoped Trump would lose yesterday. Although I'm not excited at all, wouldn't be looking forward to the left staying in power another 4 years. That would be awful. But at the same time, like I almost was ready for some relief. Like this ride with Trump, going on 8 years now. It's going to go to 12 years basically. 12 years of covering Trump and Zionism. It's like going to be a quarter of my life. And I've just been riding this exposing Trump, exposing Zionism train for 8 years, since like 2015. And I thought maybe I was going to be wrong and I could relax and they didn't have the power I thought they had. And maybe Edom won't be destroyed and there won't be the apocalyptic scripted Gog and Magog war. It would be a little bit of relief, honestly, but that's not the way the cookie crumbled, apparently. So grab your popcorn. With Trump in, though, it is good for me. It's good for me personally. Maybe not good for America, if I'm right. I don't want to be right about the destruction of America, but it's good for me. Having Zion Dawn back in office and all the crazy Zionist stuff he's going to be doing, it's good for content, good for entertainment. It's vindicating. The more that unfolds, like I said it would, is vindicating, but it's also surreal. It's surreal. It's Twilight Zone. And I feel like I'm in a movie. I feel like I'm in a scripted movie with Trump cast as the hero, the top hero, savior, and the villain.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
I just don't see the war with Iran and Israel's war with Gaza and the Muslims and Iran and the Middle East. I don't see that just like de-escalating and like Israel saying, oh, we're cool with Iran now. Yeah, they can just live and let be, live and let live. That's not going to happen. They want this war. They want us sucked in this war. That's their prophecies. There's no disputing that. And they apparently have the influence and the religious control over Christians and Muslims to hasten this and make it come about. See Through It All says, I really wanted to believe like in Trump. I really did. He shares Jonathan Greenblatt, who, remember, I did a video showing the clip where Greenblatt was all but endorsing and giving the kosher stamp of approval that Jews can support Trump and Kushner. He was awarding Kushner for the Abraham Accords, and he basically endorsed them as much as he could. Head of the ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt, congratulates Trump and J.D. Vance. He looks forward to working with the incoming administration. Yeah, I hope not. Congress, all elected officials in pursuit of the 111-year-old mission to stop defamation. They congratulate President Trump. 79, all of the Jewish outreach and all of the talk about how Jews always vote Democrat, but Trump's going to get record-breaking turnout for him. Trump is loved by the ultra-Orthodox and the conservative and the religious Jews, but the leftist, communist, liberal Jews, not so much. Not so much. They would prefer secular reform, Doug Emhoff and Kamala Harris and their version of Tikkun Olam. But 80-20 rule, 79% of U.S. Jews voted for Kamala Harris, according to exit poll. And that's usually what it is. I think that's historically what the vote has been. Around 80% of Jews always vote Democrat. But then Trump does so much pandering to the Jews. Jews are only 2% in America. And then of that 2%, the ultra-Orthodox and the Chabadniks and the conservatives and the religious Zionists are even smaller fraction of that. Yet so much pandering to them. Because pandering to the Jews is also pandering to the tens of millions of Christian Zionists who believe Jews are God's chosen people. Christian account here says, Republican coalition Trump held support among. So white evangelicals turned out more, 5 percentage points more from 2020. White with no college was down 2%. Conservative voters was up overall 4%. And 5% because of the white evangelicals. So Trump has a mandate and promises to keep with Christian Zionists, the number one voting bloc. You wonder why we have all these Christian Zionist politicians and why we're bent over for Israel and Israel plays us like a fiddle? It's because of these white evangelicals right here. And AIPAC and lobbying. But more than any of it, the religious control. And just wait. If you thought it was bad the last 8 years with the Q conspiracies and the Trump worship and the cultish behavior around Trump, have we ever seen a political figure that has anywhere near the cult-like support and religious following that Trump has? As far as I know, it's completely unprecedented. Yeah. And then all the Christians that are like anti-Zionist, supposed anti-Zionist Christians, they don't care. They're like, yeah, big Christians won. Christian America, we need more Christianity. And like what you're going to get is Christian Zionism. Trump promised at TPUSA Faith Conference, he promised a task force, an anti-Christian Zionist task force. People say Trump's not going to get us into, and will that persecute and come down on Christian anti-Semitism? Probably that task force will be the anti-Christian Zionist task force. After Trump gave his victory speech, his supporters singing one of the church songs I remember singing in church when I was a kid. How great thou art. Do you think anybody in this crowd is anti-Zionist at all? Or are they all huge Israel supporters? Cursed if you curse them and blessed if you bless them. Yeah, Glockstock too. I forgot to mention that too. Is it confirmed officially that the Republicans also have a super majority now? Or they have the House and the Senate too? So we're really going to see Zion Don kick into high gear. Remember, he promised retribution. He promised vengeance. He promised heads would roll. a Jewish cult dominates our country now. If this is what they're singing at his celebration rally or wherever this was, if the top voters that got Trump in are white Christian Zionist evangelicals, American politics is dominated by the Judeo-Christian temple cult, by messianic, apocalyptic, Torah-based prophecy Judaism. A Jew's death cult, to be exact. Right. Yeah. How many people here singing this church song believe in the rapture and believe that they have to help the Jews rebuild the third temple and have an antichrist before Jesus returns? We're going to see, I see Princess Wrongthink says Noahide world order. Yeah, we're going to see Noahide agenda intensify as well, and the anti-Semitism agenda, anti-BDS, anti-Semitism laws, IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. We're going to see a whole lot more of that, I have a feeling. They sang this in church growing up all the time. Oh, wow. They hit that tune there. Let's just skip to the end. It's literally church. It's a church session. I'm seeing all these Christians post memes of a Handmaid's Tale. And like they're halfway trolling, but they're also halfway serious. They want Christian nationalism, which is just going to be Noahide nationalism. It's going to be Christian Zionist nationalism. It's going to be getting America who better to rally America into war, World War III with Iran and Russia and China than Donald Trump and all these religious fanatics that think that end times war is God's plan that has to unfold. Glocksock says Senate is the majority, but House is still being counted. That's what I thought. Do we really think that Trump's going to allow the war with Iran and Israel is not going to de-escalate? Maybe for a time Trump will come in and have some type of ceasefire negotiations, but then they'll ultimately fall apart. But if Israel wants this war with Iran, which they do, America to be in the war with Iran specifically, they have so many different ways to get Trump into it. Does anybody think that Iran's going to attack Israel and Trump's going to sit back and do nothing? He even talked about, he's like, one bomb on Israel and the whole thing's gone. Like he's going to. Trump is the World War III candidate. He will be on the throne for the historic downfall of Edom. The transformation to Noahides is almost complete. It's rapidly intensifying. Volkish Spirit, you're glad you grew up in a secular family? Dude, it's weird. I knew at the earliest age, I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize it was like a Jewish cult. I didn't realize Jesus never existed at all, but I knew it was a cult. I knew it was a weird cult, and my church wasn't even that weird. Imagine if you grow up in a church where they're speaking tongues and doing exorcisms and shit. We're doing crazy faith healings. I just saw all these super chats. Drum and Bass World says, even if Trump is totally fake, it does feel somewhat nice that 79% of Jews lost. I mean, is it that much of a win when the 20% of Jews that won are the most supremacist and Moshiach fanatics that want to destroy Edom? It feels good knowing that like the insane left isn't going to be in power because we know for sure how that's going to go. Revelator says, keep going, man. You are a message. You are part of the transcendence. Hey, that's very nice of you. Thank you, Revelator. Anatomized Deception says 4 years of steady content. That's real. Yeah, I know. If Trump were to lose yesterday, I would have been like, pack it in, finish my Jesus book, maybe focus on that. But the whole Trump's the Messiah and Gog and Magog and Trump's the playing the scripted role of their Moshiach, like all of that would have been over yesterday. It was like all on the line, and now we got another 4 years of it. Baking Bread says we'll need the green Zion watch more than ever. I know. Just every show is just going to be like another day in Zion. Another day in Zion. Look what Trump did. Look at this crazy Zionist thing that happened. It's going to be every day now. So much more content.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
I'm going to need all the help I can get. I'm going to need you guys. Gulag says Trump is a Christian Zionist just like Hitler. Glad to finally catch you live, Adam. I don't think Hitler was a Christian Zionist. I think he didn't believe in Christianity. I think he was trying to get away from Christianity and go back to German paganism. Will Trump even slow down immigration? Probably not. Maybe illegal immigration. He'll slow down illegal immigration, or he'll stop illegal immigration, but then just increase legal immigration. Yeah, people are saying like, oh, mass deportations when? Like, how gullible do you have to be? Oh, we're going to finish the wall and deport everybody, and gas is going to be $1 a gallon, and McDonald's is going to be 99 cents again. Like, people just fall for the election lies. How gullible, how goldfish brain are people? The end of the election was literally like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. And then now it's just going to be all these people that are supposedly like anti-Zionist and anti-Israel that are celebrating right now and coming up with copes that Trump's going to do 4D chess or turn on them. And they'll be like, and also part of the script of the Messiah Antichrist role is an abandoning and a turning, a betrayal of Israel. So I think that could be over Trump trying to make peace with West Bank, Palestine. They'll say he's dividing the land of Israel. Slave of Israel, MAGA mix. Here's a new one.
We
from
love
See Through It
Israel,
All.
and we will save Israel. If we continue down our current path with 4 more years of Kamala, Israel will be faced not just with an attack, but with...
Yeah, in Trump's, thanks, Matrix Destroyer. Trump didn't mention the wall at all last night. Not that you expected him to. I don't think the wall has been part of his campaign at all. I haven't heard him talk about it. And how about his quotes on Zionism? He had quotes on Zionism? Oh, Hitler's quotes on Zionism. Yo, Eru for 100. Thank you, Eru.
Yes! That's awesome!
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you! All right.
So cool, Eru. Thank you so much. It's inspiring and motivating to have your guys' support in this crazy time, this crazy, historic, surreal time. I will be here streaming almost every day the next 4 years and coming out with my book soon. Like I said, we're only getting started. The show has only begun. Are you guys ready for the sequel? You thought that the movie was good. Are you ready for the sequel? How often are the sequels awful and they destroy the first movie? Is that what we're going to see? Oh, and also it's interesting, like, you know, he basically wins in a landslide. Wasn't it like 5 million? Even the popular vote, he won by 5 million. The delegates weren't even close. All night, the election wasn't even close. It looked like Kamala had no chance since the polls closed. So he's got a mandate. He's got the House. Maybe he also has the Senate or vice versa. I can't remember, one or the other. Now it looks like people are like, oh, maybe he did have it stolen from him in 2020. It's like total vindication, marching back in and taking over, taking back. People thought he was going to jail and was going to disappear forever. And he just took back the throne. Couldn't script this. Again, it feels like we're in a movie. Sequels are more violent than the original, right? Drum and Bass World says Christianity versus Marxism. Christianity won, which means we need to double our efforts. Also, your predictions from a year ago vindicated? No, like 4 years ago. I've been saying all along since Trump lost that I think he's going to be back. I mean, it was almost obvious. He was fighting. They did Stop the Steal. All the QAnon copes that he's still president. The Kim Clement Reawaken America tour that prophesied there would be two terms for Trump. He didn't finish the job, too. If he's their messianic figure, he didn't finish the job in the first term. He still has prophecies to fulfill. And Gog and Magog and the fall of Edom and the savior of Israel.
Total annihilation, and I hate to say it so much. It's total annihilation. That's what you're talking about. You don't have a protector. You have a big protector in me. You don't have a protector on the other side. Anybody who's Jewish and loves being Jewish and loves Israel is a fool if they vote for a Democrat. I will always defend Israel's fundamental right to exist as a Jewish nation in the Jewish homeland. That's what it's...
There's people out there like, oh, the deep state's so scared. The establishment is scared. There's so many billionaires, many of them Jewish, supporting Trump. People are completely delusional if they think that, like, the deep state is only the leftist. Like, Trump is the Israeli deep state. Trump is the Zionist deep state agent.
It's about, isn't it? If Kamala Harris wins instead of the most pro-Israel president ever, which I have been already declared to be, you will have the most anti-Israel president by far, far worse than Barack Hussein Obama. Israel will not exist within 2 years if she becomes president. Just as I promised, I recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became the capital. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. You know, Miriam and Sheldon would come into the White House probably almost more than anybody outside of people that work there. And they were always after, and as soon as I give them something, always for Israel. As soon as I give them something, they'd want something else. I said, give me a couple of weeks, will you please? But I gave them the Golan Heights, and they never even asked for it. If you want to eliminate Israel, we will throw you out of our country so rapidly your head will spin. And to confront the crisis of anti-Semitism at our universities, I will tell...
Trump has promised to crush anti-Semitism the minute he gets into the Oval Office. That's what he promised.
College presidents that they must end the anti-Semitic propaganda, or they will lose their accreditation and they will lose all federal support. I happen to have a Jewish daughter. I have a Jewish son-in-law. I have 3 Jewish grandchildren. I became president of the United States and was the best president ever for Israel and for the Jewish people by far. Nobody was close. I was there 4 years, gave them billions and billions of dollars. I was the best friend Israel ever had. If I do win, Israel will be safe and secured. We will stop the toxic poison of anti-Semitism from spreading here. All over America, it's spreading. It's spreading like it's never spread before. I've never seen anything like it. I really believe it would be obliteration, and it'll happen quickly, too. It's very close to happening. With your vote, we will reject anti-Semitism in our schools, reject it in our foreign policy. We will reject it in our immigration system, and we will save the state of Israel on November 5th, 2024. It will be the most important day in the history of Israel.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Trump acting like our foreign policy has been anti-Semitic is the biggest joke I've ever heard. So that's the type of stuff we have to look forward to. Remember, he kept all
Israel, and we will save
he kept all his promises in 2020, right? Or in 2016 to Israel. Gulag Kulag for 5 says, Adam, do you have any plans to interview Dr. Eamon Hillman? He's apparently saying no to all interviews, is what I heard. He has done some mind-blowing brand new research into Jesus by translating old Greek texts. Check out his interview on Danny Jones' podcast. I've seen it. I saw the interview. I'm friends with Gnostic Informant. He's close with Eamon Hillman. And honestly, Jesus is a myth. So the whole theory that Jesus was really secretly raping boys, he didn't exist, so that's not true. And I think it's a distraction, honestly. It's not the important conspiracy. It's not the real scandal of the New Testament. If anything, they just threw in a word there as like a little secret way to laugh at the people following Jesus. That's my take on it. Gulag Kulag. Okay. Michael Tracy says, casting a vote for Republican executive power in the name of defending free speech after a year in which the Republican Party has been on a virulent censorship crusade to stop. Yeah, Trump's going to save free speech. Trump and Elon Trump signed anti-Semitism executive orders and like promises to eradicate anti-Semitism. Thank you, Kulak. It is a fair take. So, yeah, acting like Trump is free speech, maybe in lip service, but in the real world, I mean, we have these new alternatives now. They banned us from all the big ones. Like, do I think Odyssey and Rumble and Twitter are going to ban me in the next 4 years under Trump? Like, maybe not, probably not. But with this anti-Zionist task force and new IHRA definitions, all it takes is like some big attack to happen. Some synagogue gets attacked, and that's what they'll need a pretext to shut it down. Trust the plan, Goyim. Trust the plan. Trump's going to save you. All right. Now for some of the epic leftist meltdown compilations.
To know that there is that much. How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in...
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we won't be censored on Twitter, but we will be shadow banned. We will be deboosted. While all the other pro-Trump shills and Zionist shills are going to be astroturfed. And while the kooky, discrediting kosher conspiracies and the Christian anti-Semitism will be amplified, because that helps them. It helps their narrative. It helps their victimhood. Will be suppressed, which I do think there is suppression going on. Even more so than the Abrahamic gatekeepers suppressing and blacklisting, sharing my stuff. I think the algorithm's also playing a part.
How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states.
Dude, who does this remind me of? Grace. This looks like Grace. Liberal Grace. What's her name? Really graceful. Liberal, really graceful.
That it was, close. Or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Senate race.
It's not gonna happen. Go, Kamala.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you.
See, we didn't want these people in power either. That's why we're in such a rock and a hard place. Our options were so awful. That's the real scandal, is how awful our two-party system is.
I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters.
Somebody could save her.
Dude, I'm scared of this man I am. If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man...
None of these dumb liberals can even like have legitimate criticisms of Trump either. Like, we're not going to have abortions. It should be like Netanyahu's in charge of the White House now. Kushner and Netanyahu and John Hagee and Chabadniks are in charge of the White House, and they're end times prophecy fanatical zealots. Like, that should be the criticism. They're just like, no more abortions. We wanted a black woman in power. Like, that's their gripes.
Into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Oh, they're all hating white people, by the way. It's white people to blame for Trump being elected. They're saying they're coming after white women. I saw on MSNBC, they're like, it's the white women's fault. And then I want to be like, okay, white women W. At least they didn't go for the anti-white libtards. But then at the same time, it's like, dude, Trump.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life
It's not nice, really graceful.
gets under his policy.
Somebody's got to send this to Really Graceful. Really Graceful's so much prettier than her, by the way, though.
Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Let's see some more. Matt Walsh says this is the winner. 9.6 million views. I don't want to blow your guys' ears. I think she's yelling.
I'm sorry. No. Why?
Dude. This is what Trump derangement, like, I feel like Trump is a pawn and an actor playing a role in the destruction of Western civilization in an ancient biblical plot. And even I'm not doing that. This is what real Trump derangement syndrome looks like. And she's just mad because the white people won.
Why?
As she sees it.
Do you really hate me that bad?
No, I love really Graceful. I'm not trying to hate on her at all, guys. She just the girl kind of looked like her in the way she was filming and the glasses and stuff.
I'm sorry. No.
She seems pleasant.
Why?
Dude.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm sorry.
Dude, chimp out. All right, emotionally unhinged much? Here's a runner-up. Let's see this one. White dudes for Harris. Oh my gosh, look at this guy.
I can't believe Trump's actually going to win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so pissed off. Fuck. God damn it. I can't believe Trump's actually going to win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so pissed off.
Dude, okay, hold on.
Literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to panic.
Dude, this girl has the weirdest looking face I've ever seen. She has no chin below her lower
We have
lip.
to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, recount the vote. Guys, we literally don't even have to panic.
Take it out the trash. If Trump lost, I don't think you'd be seeing these meltdowns. There'd be a lot of Republicans crying, but I don't think you'd be seeing these type of meltdowns.
For the next 4 years.
We can still enjoy all of these types melting down.
Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years. In protest and protection of your bodies. As we know.
That won't be too hard for you, huh? White lips.
So, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't
stop having sex, as if anybody wants to have sex with her.
American. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the Handmaid's Tale, then us women need to protest because this is some buttery bullshit. I'm sorry to the women and minorities who aren't going to get the help that they need in the next 4 years.
Dude, they act like allowing the states to decide on abortion and outlawing late-term abortions is equivalent to concubines and Christian fascism control over America. I mean, it's a bit of a leap, but and then the Christians are all trolling, sharing these pictures that this is what they want. You realize it's going to be a Noahide world if we get Handmaid's Tale. It's not going to be based anti-Zionist Christians. It's going to be the most Zionist people out there. You'll be the first ones hung up on the ropes like in Handmaid's Tale, actually, these Christian anti-Semites that are celebrating and posting pro-Handmaid's Tale memes. You'll be the first at the gallows for persecuting God's chosen people.
I'm sorry for the people who are impoverished who are just going to keep dying from starvation and lack of healthcare and lack of governmental support. People are actually praising this guy, and it's a freaking joke. Look at the states he won. You won't catch me there. You'll catch me in New York City. And I'm sorry to all the women who are going to suffer in these.
I don't think those states want you, sweetie.
Towns because of this. Reason why I'm a New Yorker and always will be. Fuck Florida.
Fuck Florida. The black woman on MSNBC called Florida a neo-fascist state or something. She had to steal Greta's thunder. Liberal woman has the most insane meltdown and dumps her boyfriend over the phone for voting for Trump. Okay, no, that's fake. Yeah, that's also what I'm wondering. How many of these are spoofs, people pretending to have meltdowns for the viral video, for the lulz? Okay, let's see here. 547 watching on Rumble. And let me scroll through. Not one, two, nobody has anything to say, huh? Nobody wants me to read out a comment. Nobody has any thoughts to add to the conversation on Rumble. God, what is wrong with Rumble? Is it because I say support on Odyssey instead of Rumble? Is that what it is? You guys are just listening? All right, here's another mix.
No. Knowing that I woke up, bitch, it's not about a fucking bug. Fuck that shit right now. Knowing that I went to bed, yeah.
Yo, there we go. Justin Sama for 25 on Rumble rant. Thank you. Just got back on X after 2 years, and apart from the left meltdown, how painful it is to see all the Christ cucks praising their Zion Don Savior. We'll share your stuff as much as I can. Hashtag Green Pill. Thank you, Justin Sama. Good to have you back on Twitter, and we need all the help we can get. All hands on deck. Because, yeah, the Christians, the so-called anti-Zionist Christians celebrating Trump, it's just like, I just think, how naive are you? Every reaction video is not genuine, all for attention, fake. I know they could be. They're just acting.
That fucking man was ahead a little bit. But waking up to this man, literally, you're 4 points a fucking way. Not only shows me how racist, which, hello, wake up, you black, you're aware of that. It not only shows me how racist this country is, misogynistic, y'all.
You elected a woman of color for the nomination of the top political party in America, and you're going to say it's all racist just because she didn't win? Please.
We're at the point where I'm convinced
you're racist.
Y'all do not want to get here. Y'all had y'all glory fucking days in the back. Y'all hate to see a black, a Latino, anybody that's in LGBTQ plus, a woman being happy doing shit on her fucking own. Because to wake up and seeing it being that close, and I'm seeing comments where people are like, I'm in another country, I don't know how this is happening. Wake up! This is fucking America, and this is sad. And every fucking body, any person that I still follow that has voted for him, I'm not even gonna say what my thoughts is, but trust I will be acting on my thoughts. And I know I might lose some brand deals for what I'm about to say.
This girl has brand deals? 33,000 likes? Come on, dude.
But every black person...
Why does this girl have brand deals and I don't?
Seen that said, I'm for Trump in this current state. Every Latino, every non-white male, let's keep it what it is.
Let's keep it what it is. She just hates white men so much. Fuck this girl. Big Mama 14 for 20 says, here's another Rumble rant for you. They have to put Trump in. American men would never follow camel toe into war, and war is planned. Exactly. Exactly. Plus, they want to scapegoat Esau, Edom, and the white Christian man. That's who's meant to be blamed when Edom falls. Adam needs to get a female influencer makeup brand deals. I've thought about that. Like, what company would ever want to advertise on my show? Danny, Jewish Danny, comedian Danny Jokes is hilarious. I can't believe he doesn't have more than 90,000 followers, by the way. Okay, before we play this, Woozus for 10 says, former Muslim that has been green pilled. Awesome. Great to hear. Muslims supported Trump more than Jews yesterday. Islam is a slave religion to Judaism. Saudis fear Iran more than Israel. Thanks, Adam, for opening my eyes. Yeah, I saw Trump campaigning in Dearborn, Michigan, and he was promising Muslims that he was going to end the war and bring peace to the Middle East, and they were endorsing him. It's amazing. So here's a AI rendition if Kamala's AI comedic concession speech. This is pretty good.
My fellow Americans, we all knew this day was coming, as difficult as it is to accept that I'm one of the most unpopular candidates in history. Even with the entire mainstream media machine backing me and working to get me elected, it appears I have lost the race. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Fox, and everyone else that wasn't on Team Joy. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. You motherfuckers just can't stand to see a strong black and occasionally Indian woman succeed. How the fuck did I get 15 million less votes than that retard Joe Biden in 2020? And pardon my language, but everyone knows under a second Trump term, we're allowed to say retarded again. Yes. So get off my balls. But
finally,
seriously, how the fuck did Joe get 15 million more votes than me? I'm starting to think maybe we did steal that election in 2020. No way his dusty ass did that much better than me. Shit, I barely got more votes than Hillary Clinton.
Nobody's happier than Joe Biden right now. He's like, oh, I would have won. You had to do a coup on me and oust me, and now you lost. You get what you deserve. Serves you right. You know Biden's loving this. Sweet
and we've imported 50 million illegals since 2016. And
Karma for
they're all
Biden.
voting for me. As for what's next for me, I'm still in charge of this country until January 20th. You heard that right? Joe doesn't know where the fuck he is half.
Yeah, the liberals are plotting their Stop the Steal and their January 6th right now as we speak.
The time. So plan on an action-packed next couple of months. Might even fuck around and invade Canada. Finally, thanks for fucking nothing, America. You made Rachel Maddow and Van Jones cry again. I hope you're all very happy with yourselves.
If you like that, make sure to subscribe and follow for more.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message. Follow and subscribe to Danny's Perfect Content.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I also approve this message. Give your boy Danny a follow. You heard?
Classic Kamala. Always copying me. Not original at all. Sad.
Pretty good. Elon tweeted yesterday, the future is going to be fantastic with his awesome rocket. That Syrian girl says, does it include genocide? Yup. Yeah, you see what's happening in Gaza? Just imagine that in Edom. If they get what they want, that's what's going to happen. The two nations cannot coexist. When one rises, the other must fall, as they interpret in the Talmud to be about America and the West and Jerusalem. Now we got Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, PayPal Mafia, Peter Thiel, Palantir with Israel and CIA, Elon Musk, top military contracts, SpaceX, Starlink, blanketing the skies with Starlink, Neuralink, brain chips, robots, self-driving cars, X, the power that one man has. And it seems Alex Jones is for it. All the MAGA and America First and based in Red Pill people, they all love Elon Musk as he's literally like ushering in all of the New World Order stuff and so much power for one person who is a little too friendly for my liking with Netanyahu and Ben Shapiro and Trump, Rogan, Alex Jones, all these people. The future is going to be fantastic. So Trump's got his Space Force, Elon's got his SpaceX, and now they're teaming up and they're landing, not even landing, they're catching the biggest rockets ever out of the sky. Things are about to get very interesting. Everybody's like, it's a new golden age, a new golden age. Yeah, the aspirational Jew. We Was Krang says, self-docking boomerang ICBMs on the way. Elon, when he first took over Twitter, he brought in the kitchen sink. He walked in with a kitchen sink, you know, like everything but the kitchen sink. And now he's doing that into the White House. They also apparently have asked Ron Paul to help cut federal spending, to start cutting. He's so old. He's like 90 years old. What, is he going to come after the Federal Reserve now? That's what he was always, Ron Paul was always, and the Fed. Trump's even floated the idea of abolishing the IRS. Extremely unlikely. Yo, 25 from Volkish Spirit. Thanks, buddy. He says, cheers, buddy.
Yes! That's awesome!
Thanks, man.
You're doing awesome work, Volkish Spirit. All that research really to help counter all the lies from the Christians and cover up like what the real threat is kicking off the yoke of the Abrahamic paradigm, as they were trying to do. Let's hear what Ron Paul has to say.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the...
Oh, yeah. Stocks are up. Bitcoin's at all-time high. Let's see what Bitcoin's still at, like, speaking of libertarians.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. With J.D. Vance and Elon Musk suddenly...
Yeah, it's almost at 76,000 right now. The all-time high before that was like 72 or 73, I believe. So it's shot up thousands over the previous all-time high.
Ideas are back in this campaign. This presidential campaign season may be one of those turning points in history for reasons good and bad. Anyone watching the one debate between the Republican and Democratic Party candidates would not have come away with the view that this was a great battle of competing principles and visions for the future. It was a campaign of name.
Yeah, did you guys see when Ron Paul had the stroke on camera? I can't even believe he's back doing this.
Calling and bullets.
I feel like it was just a last-ditch attempt to get all the libertarians and the independent voters on board with Trump.
Where one candidate avoided discussing ideas at all costs, and even avoided the media at all costs. Where the other candidate dodged 2 attempted assassinations while throwing red meat rhetoric to an understandably angry population. It was a campaign where...
And this teleprompter reading stuff just ain't so good. Drum and Bass World says 100% of Rumble viewers are hate watchers. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not 100%. Guys, can you let us know in the chat, the Rumble chat, H if you're a hate watcher and L if you're a love watcher, and we'll see. And be honest. Let me know, Rumble. Hate, H if you hate watch, or you can just type out hate. Love if you're a love watcher.
More than ever, the mainstream media completely abandoned any idea of being a neutral source of information and instead jumped into the ring on the side of one candidate. In the one debate between presidential candidates, the mainstream media went so far as to fact-check
almost all loves. One said love, hate.
One of the candidates while giving the other
That's
a
what
pass.
I thought.
The fact check turned out to be misinformation.
Truth watcher.
Something the mainstream media
Christian L watcher. That's good.
excels in. But they have long figured out that by the time the actual facts are in, people have already absorbed the falsehoods.
Dude, what is he even talking about? A minute and a half in, and I can't even pay attention. Corn Pop the Bad Dude. What's up, dude? It's been a while. Corn Pop says, doesn't Trump endorsing a 2-state solution mean he's stabbing Israel in the back? Yes, absolutely. In fact, once that starts happening, I think I'm the only person on the record saying that I think Trump's going to get in and there's going to be a peace deal, negotiation for peace deals with West Bank Palestine. But yes, they view that as as America will be cursed for trying to divide the land of Israel and make peace in God's promised land.
To the Conservative Media Research Center, mainstream media coverage of the Trump campaign was 85% negative, while its coverage of the Harris campaign was 78% positive. If accurate, it explains...
Yeah, mainstream media likes Harris. They're the old guard. And the new media, which is still the mainstream alternative media, Tucker, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, all these podcasts Trump goes on. Woozis for 10 says, another one because I've been watching your streams for over a year. About time I contribute to the cause. I agree. Thank you. If you're able to, and you watch the show and you want the show to keep going and you value and you enjoy it, chip in a little bit. Every dollar helps. Especially the best way to is join button on Odyssey. So you can sign up for by the month.
Why the public holds the media in such contempt. What felt missing in the campaign was a discussion of the real issues we are facing. The destruction caused by the interventionism in our economy, in our lives, and in the rest of the world. There was no talk of...
Harris just finally conceded the election, apparently. Is she doing her speech already, or was it a tweet? It was weird. Her official Twitter was not tweeting all night last night.
About the Federal Reserve and how it hurts the middle class, helps the wealthy, and greases the war machine. Then, at the tail end, things got interesting. Republican candidate for Vice President J.D. Vance mentioned last week that he had come to the view that the Federal Reserve was not the benevolent force for good that its supporters claim. He didn't say it in those exact words, but that it was his point. Then Trump surrogate campaigner Elon Musk made an announcement that no doubt terrified the D.C. swamp. Were he to get the government efficiency job, Trump suggested he'd start with a bang, cutting off $2 trillion from the federal budget. We even had a little fun with it. After I posted some encouragement on Musk's Twitter X, he responded that he would be happy to have me join him looking for places to cut. While the last thing I am looking for is another job, I am encouraged by the outpouring of support and happy to help any effort to correct the wrong path we have been going down, a path toward total bankruptcy. Perhaps the most encouraging development this election cycle is the
path towards bankruptcy. Like, aren't we 40 trillion in debt? How is that not already bankrupt? Trump has said, like, oh, we'll write off the debt with Bitcoin. He said that several times as well. I covered in a stream a few weeks ago. Trump retardedly says he's going to write off our trillions in debt, 40 trillion in debt with Bitcoin, whatever that means. If they're coming after like the Federal Reserve and the petrodollar and does that help BRICS and their currency and their system? Is there going to be a rug pull with Bitcoin and it crashes and all the big whales make out like bandits and then that triggers a huge collapse in the U.S. markets? We get a lower rating or something and the BRICS rises up. Saudi Arabia abandons the petrodollar and America's just financially destroyed? Is that what the fall of Edom is going to consist of?
And decline in the influence of the corrupt mainstream media. When Elon posted a funny meme on the two of us cutting government on his Twitter X platform, it garnered some 50 million views. Compare that to the steady decline of mainstream media viewership. An alternative way of reporting and analyzing the events of our time is emerging on the ruins of the legacy media, and it's driving them insane. Good. Thanks for listening.
It is true. Elon's been tweeting saying, like, you're the media now. Mainstream media lost its power. It really is true. Independent media they are the new media. It really is true. Guys like Alex Jones, who used to be fringe and called a conspiracy theorist by all the news, now he's one of the top most influential dudes in right-wing politics, in all of politics. Joe Rogan, same thing. I got to say, I wish Matthew North was still here to see the Elon, the Joe Rogan, the Alex Jones, Trump coming back to power. Like, more than anybody, I used to talk with him about that stuff. And I wish he was here to see everything that's transpired. He was on it. He was on the Rogan and the Elon and the Kanye and the Alex Jones and all this weird shit going around. Draining the swamp, putting Mike Pompeo back in power. Are we going to have a Mike Pompeo Secretary of State again? Or is he going to be the Secretary of Defense? Rapture fanatic Mike Pompeo? Ultra Zionist Mike Pompeo? Princess Wrong Thing for 10 says, I love Watch Adam for slapping me with the green pill a couple years ago. Thank you, Lisa. You're amazing. All right, let's see the Mike Pompeo's glazing, introducing Mike Pompeo.
Oh, sir. And they just announced Mike. You'd be amazed at this. Mike, look at our Mike. Look at him. He lost all that weight. He looks so handsome. Stand up, Mike Pompeo.
He lost all that weight. He looks so handsome. All that Ozempic did the trick.
He looks so handsome.
Wow, I didn't expect him to be calling him handsome. Pulse Men for 20 says, thanks, Adam. I think the end comes through power grid attacks. That could be it, too. That would crash the system, the financial markets, a power grid attack. RTFAKT says, thanks for all your work, Adam. Been following for years. Davy Crocco would have had a field day with this. RIP to a fallen brother. Yeah, he would have been all over this stuff, too, man. Another sad one. R.I.P.
Wow.
Davey and Matthew.
Man, I'm going to ask him, how the hell did he do that? That's good.
Ozempic.
That's great. They took the military. They said, we have.
Yeah, right, Jack Stone. Pompeo said Trump was sent by God to save the Jewish people in Israel from Iranian menace. Right.
We had a plan. Mike Pompeo made the plan with me. We had a plan subject to all these different things that they had to do. They weren't doing them. They were doing some, but they said, great, we're not going forward to do the other. We were going to be fine. President Xi, Mike, of China is not a low IQ person. Do you agree?
Yo, Persephone, I missed this, says, for 50, Persephone. Thank you, Persephone. You're awesome.
They're not.
Very nice. Says, I enjoyed seeing you on the Kill stream. Yeah, I was on the Kill stream for a few hours last night. Faith-based is obviously a fag. Love you, Adam. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully that was a little bit of good content and didn't get too annoying. Pump up the Pompeo.
He's a very severe person. He's a very fierce person, but low IQ is not one of his traits. Do we agree?
Dude, he's a Rapture fanatic John Hagee enthusiast. He's the Shabbos Goy Israel slave. That's who Pompeo is. Oh, we're draining the swamp. The establishment's so scared. You think they're scared with... You think Netanyahu is scared? Netanyahu Pompeo. Netanyahu loves Pompeo. Pompeo will happily trigger World War III because he thinks he's going to be raptured away. And that Jesus is, if they help the Jews and get this end times war, Pompeo believes that Jesus is going to float down in a cloud and save the world.
How would you like to be Putin and you want to call the United States and you have no idea who to call? No, it's true. Let's see. Let's call up the United States. I'd like to work something out. Who do we call? Sir, really, there's nobody you can speak to. I just thought of that the last couple of days. They want to make a deal, Mike, and they have nobody to speak to. You know, maybe they'll speak to the guy right alongside of you. You got a great Senate. By the way, you have a great Senate candidate. I hope you're gonna go for David. He's great. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, great guy.
So you know what he's doing here? He's hype. He's Pompeo's hype man because he's about to get a top cabinet position. Pompeo has been. I did a video way back on YouTube, like Pompeo Rapture fanatic or something. It was a good one. One of the best kill stream shows, honestly. Cool, I'm glad. It was pretty historic and epic.
Great guy.
So he's glazing. He's testing the cheers that they get. You suspect Pompeo was included in the $100 million package by Miriam Adelson. Pompeo has been had Trump's back all along. That's OB shouting out conspiracy truther for Instagram content. I haven't been on Instagram for a minute to see conspiracy truther. Let's check out. Thanks for reminding me. I don't have the app. Looks like you're still getting some. Oh, look, there's me, vindication. Let's see this one. 412 likes. What is this?
Said Netanyahu's controlled by the Messianic rabbis. We'll play the clip in a second. And now again, we have former Israeli Prime Minister, again, Ehud Olmert, says, quote, the real
400 likes on Instagram.
Is not Hezbollah, is not Hamas. The real enemy from the within, the Messianic, crazy, extreme groups of Israelis, the government, and Netanyahu. The Messianic conspiracy, Messianic madness. Even the prime ministers of Israel, two of them now, two recent prime ministers, are talking about these Moshiach madness.
I was so hyped for this.
Death cult apocalyptic prophecy to rule the world.
I would say it. The real enemy that we have is not Iran, which is an enemy. It's not Hezbollah, which is an enemy. Well, it's not Hamas, which is an enemy. The real enemy is from within. The Messianic, crazy.
Cool, 400 likes. Total W for Conspiracy Truther. Everybody follow Conspiracy Truth. Are you guys on Instagram? You want the link? Should have brought up the link. I'll share the link in the chat. Conspiracy Truther getting the word out there on Instagram like I begged you guys forever to create accounts and share clips. And many of you are, and you're doing a great job with doing that. And that's how we get the ball rolling. Okay, and now here's Pompeo's speech. Seems Michael Tracy, who's one of the top accounts on Twitter that's all over the Zionists, says, seems notable that the final day of the campaign is when Trump decided to put Pompeo front and center. Also notable that Pompeo states with firsthand knowledge that the second Trump admin will be doing what a second Trump will be doing.
And I often get asked, Mike, what was it like? Right, the Washington Post described me as the most loyal cabinet member to Donald J. Trump. I had to remind the president that they did not mean that as a compliment. They asked me, what was it like to serve for President Trump? And I told them, and I've told everyone hundreds of times in these
the greatest honor.
It was the greatest privilege that Mike Pompeo could ever have. I was proud to be a part of President Trump's team. I talked to him every day for 4 years, first as CIA director and then as Secretary of State. And what I was so proud of is that we understood the greatness of this nation, and we never once apologized for the United States of America. Not once.
We bend over for Israel unapologetically. We never apologize for being 100% slaves to Zion. We never apologize for trying to crush anti-Semitism in anybody in BDS. Yeah, Joe Rogan, when Trump was on with Joe Rogan like the couple days before the election, he's like, oh, you hired a bunch of neocons. You hired neocons. Can't do that again. And Trump's like, oh, I know better now. Yeah, no, I know DC now. I won't hire any of those deep state neocons. No, but Pompeo is going to be his top guy. Tom Cotton's another name. All the biggest Zionists. That's it. And the Ted Cruzes, the Marco Rubios, the Lindsey Grahams, they're all behind Trump. Yeah, Pompeo lost a lot of weight. He looks way more presidential. He's not a big slob anymore. He didn't get buff, though, so it's probably Ozempic. He wasn't lifting weights.
Now, President Trump's going to secure our southern border. We will bring peace back to the world. We will take down the Ring of Fire. We will support our...
The Ring of Fire is Iran. Take down Iran. They're going to take down Iran. And you think Trump's the anti-war candidate? Assassinated Soleimani?
Our friends in Israel, but he's going to need bring peace back to the world. We will take down the Ring of Fire.
We will bring peace back to the world by starting World War III with war with Iran and Russia. It's like what they say, the rabbis say. There's going to be, the Messiah comes and there's peace on earth after Gog and Magog and all the anti-Semites destroy each other.
Support our friends in Israel, but he's going to need help to do that.
We need your help to support Israel. Everybody get on board supporting Israel. Put on your hard hat, go and support Israel. Not good, to say the least. Kushner's involved as well. Howard Lutnick. Golonsky. So Netanyahu gets Trump back in office. He fires the head of the IDF. Why? Because he's holding him back from like total takeover of Gaza? He was calling this the war of sons of light and sons of darkness, just like Netanyahu was. And that's one of the reasons I knew Trump would be back. I shouldn't say no, but I strongly believe Trump would be back. The two-term Kim Clement prophecy, just all the foreshadowing of what's happening, the way everything was transpiring, the effect how whenever he gets attacked, more people support him. The coin, the Sons of Light, Sons of Darkness coin, the prophecies for Israel that still needed to be fulfilled, and he's their guy. He's their character to do it. Now, we're going to be seeing a big shakeup with the head of the IDF out. Tally Chad says, scrolling X, seeing the simping for white Shmuley Boteach with a viral video. He ran into Sneeko, I guess in D.C. or New York. I don't know where they were. Let's see this.
A year ago this time, October 7th, God hid completely. On a day that 1,200 Jews and non-Jews and Muslims and Thai workers were slaughtered by Hamas.
I don't know if I can sit through him. I'm feeling kind of sick. I may have had one too many last night. Doing a bit of a hangover stream today. I'll show that another show. Tucker Carlson says that he's trying to outdo himself, a retard off, as what Richard Spencer said it. Alex Jones and Tucker are doing a retard off. He says a movement that produces something this aggressively stupid deserves to die. Fortunately, it didn't. It's now empowered. The evolution denying, the nuclear technology comes from demons, getting attacked by demons in your sleep. Tucker Carlson says
Japan nuclear tech.
He doesn't believe nukes are real. Now the nukes are fake conspiracy is being promoted by Tucker Carlson.
Nuclear technology in the first place, which are not human forces, obviously. And let me just ask you this, which I've asked a million people at dinner parties, but never in public. What was the moment we can point to that nuclear technology was invented? You know, we can point to Isaac Newton and say, what apple fell on his head?
Oppenheimer?
We can point to Albert Hoffman in his lab messing around with the
big blockbuster movie, Oppenheimer, maybe? That? No, that didn't happen. It wasn't scientists in the Soviet Union in America and around the world discovering atomic theory and splitting atoms. No, we got it from the demons. The demons gave it to us.
That's when LSD was made. I've never met a person who can isolate the moment where nuclear technology became known to man. And so where did it come from exactly? Oh, German scientists in the 30s. Really, when? Name the date. And I've never heard anybody do that. It's very clear to me.
Okay, name the scientists that. We'll see what ChatGPT has to say. Who were some of the scientists that invented nuclear theory and nuclear weapons?
Some of the key scientists who developed nuclear theory and the foundations for nuclear weapons include people like Albert Einstein, whose famous equation, E = C², demonstrated the relationship between mass and energy, which underpins nuclear fission. Enrico Fermi, often called the architect of the nuclear age, who worked on the first controlled nuclear chain reaction and helped develop nuclear reactors.
So what?
J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Okay, Oppenheimer.
Father of the atomic bomb, led the Los Alamos laboratory during the Manhattan Project to develop the first nuclear weapons. Niels Bohr, who made major contributions to nuclear structure and theory.
Okay, so this idiot just gets on, what is this, War Room. This is Steve Bannon's interview and just goes, "Oh, I've never seen any evidence that humans came up with nuclear weapons. It's just we must have got it from the demons. There's nothing else that can explain it. I'm sleeping in a bed with 4 dogs and I got clawed, but it couldn't be the dogs. It must be a demon." I've never heard anybody explain what about all those people that they just named?
German scientists in the 30s. Really, when? Name the date. And I've never heard anybody do that. It's very clear to me.
Oh, it took me 10 seconds to look it up. Retard.
That these are demonic. I mean, these are evil. Their only purpose is to destroy the innocent, to murder the innocent. They've only been used once, and I think there's an interesting ethical debate about their use. Was Truman right or whatever? But if you take 3 steps back, you could say, well, wait a second. If you end up killing, incinerating tens of thousands.
Yeah, Tucker has taken on the role of Alex Jones. You're right. They're trying to make everybody stupid and retarded and believing kosher conspiracies and fear-mongering that everything's demons, everything's Satanism and demons. And what does that do? It scares everybody to believe in the Jewish God and the Jewish Messiah. It's such an obvious con game.
So civilians that's just a bad thing. Let's just be honest. That's just a bad thing.
Whoa, we got 750 watching on Rumble, 260 on Odyssey. I knew today would be a big stream with the election. Great turnout today. Thank you guys for the support.
Is going to pay consequences. It's just true. And by the way, the fact the second bomb was dropped on the Christian population of Japan, which was majority in Nagasaki. In fact, it was sighted in on a church in Nagasaki.
Oh, now we know it was demons.
Why Nagasaki exactly? And by the way, why has every subsequent American war resulted in disproportionately the deaths of Christians? That would include Vietnam, by the way, where the Catholic population was decimated, up to and including Iraq and Syria, now in Russia. Why is it that our use of force consistently since the end of the Second World War has been against Christians? That's been the effect, to kill Christians.
What about all the Muslim countries? What is he talking about? Sorry, I didn't realize I was probably blowing your ears out and peaking bad there. I had it turned up for the chat GPT. It's a little too quiet. Can you believe that? Oh, it's a demonic conspiracy where they kill all the Christians. Really? Yeah, exactly, Volkish Spirit. They really love their persecution and martyr complex. We can't have war with Russia. They're Christians. That's like really what he's getting at here. Cucker, I sleep with 4 dogs, Carlson's. Yeah, Russians are the ones killing Christians. They're the ones that invaded Ukraine. Christian Russia and Christian Ukraine are killing each other.
Use of force.
Yeah, since when is Vietnam Christian? I've never even heard that Nagasaki was Christian. What kind of new... Is that even true? Do we need to ask ChatGPT again? Was the bomb dropped on Nagasaki targeting Christians? Were there a lot of Christians there?
Yes, Nagasaki was one of Japan's largest Christian communities at the time, which has led to some speculation about whether its Christian population played a role in the decision to target the city. Nagasaki had a unique history with Christianity. It was one of the first Japanese cities to receive Christian missionaries in the 16th century.
Oh, total L.
Primarily from Portugal and later Spain. For a long period, Christianity was persecuted, but a hidden Christian community managed to survive, and the faith eventually resurged in the city in the 19th century when Japan reopened to the West. By the time of World War II, Nagasaki had a significant Christian minority.
Okay, so Christian America wanted to bomb the Christian Japanese. That makes a lot of sense.
Force consistently since the end of the Second World War has been against Christians. That's been the effect, to kill Christians. The bombing of the Balkans in the 90s under NATO. Why is that? And I just don't think it's an act.
So are the demons trying to kill all the Muslims as well? Because there's been a lot of dead Muslims. The war on terror. I've never heard that before. Nagasaki was Christian. I've never heard this theory of the demon nukes trying to kill all the Christians. Why would God allow all that? The demons, God's up in heaven like, those darn demons. How dare you give the humans nukes to blow up all my children, all the true believers. No, Satan. Demons is code for Jews. Oh, man, I'm feeling sick. I got to wrap this up. All right, guys, that's all we're doing today. Appreciate the support so much. Drum and Bass World says Christians have to believe the inversion of reality that they were victims in order to feel good about their religion. It's so far in the other direction, the big lie. Thank you, Drum and Bass World. Thank you. Optics Prime says, I stream through Roku with Rumble and text chat through Odyssey. Israel exploding with reports of potential military coup against Netanyahu following Gallant's dismissal. I know, I saw that. They were like protesting. They were like chasing him down. He was like fleeing. So big shakeups happening in Israel. Thank you, Optics Prime. Thank you, everybody. Pulse Men, Persephone, Volkish Spirit, Drum and Bass World, Gulag, Eru, huge shout out to Eru.
Awesome.
Totally awesome. Huge dono. Baking Bread, Anatomize the Deception, Revelator, and everybody over on Rumble that supported. Corn Pop the Bad Dude says, you heard of the Metcalf sniper attack? No. Supposedly that was a test in police news and other service response times. I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry, Corn Pop. And thank you, Woozis, Corn Pop, Big Mama. Big Mama's always coming through. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the huge turnout today. It's very exciting, scary, surreal time. I will be here. I will be here the next 4 years with you guys, exposing all of the Ziocracy that's happening, the Ziotopia that they promise us. So I love you all. Thank you for sticking with me, especially if you've been with me since the beginning of this journey. Well, the journey just got a lot longer. So thank you for being here. I hope you stick with me. Love you all. Can't wait to see what you have to say in the comments. Thank you for the support. And I will be back again very soon. Take care.
Baby.